Ashwagandha has recently been taking over the internet, especially on TikTok, for its insane health benefits. If anyone is unfamiliar with ashwagandha, I'll explain what it is and what it does. Ashwagandha is an herb used in Ayurveda, the traditional medicine of India. Its root has a horsey smell and is said to confer the strength and virility of a horse. In Sanskrit, ashva means horse and gandha means smell. Various parts of the plant are used, but the most common supplemental form is an extract of its roots. It belongs to the Solanaceae, or nightshade family. Wait a second, aren't Datura and Belladonna in the nightshade family? Yes, so these plants are actually similar. Now, Datura will fuck your shit up, and if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that Datura is a very strong and delirious plant that will sometimes make you hallucinate people, demons, witches, cigarettes, etc. These hallucinations will be in your reality and you will think it's real because they are actual hallucinations, not just psychedelic visuals that you get from shrooms and acid. Also, tomatoes and peppers belong to the same nightshade family and they don't make you hallucinate, so don't be scared to continue eating them. On another note, right before I recorded this video, I decided to boof or rectally administer 5,000 Datura seeds. I am currently delirious and will be surprised if I will even be able to edit this video. Anyways, ashwagandha is best known for its anxiolytic, anti-anxiety, and stress-relieving effects. It also seems to reduce cortisol levels. In addition, a growing body of evidence supports the efficacy of ashwagandha for improving total sleep time and sleep quality in people with and without insomnia. There is increasing interest in ashwagandha among athletes. Ashwagandha has been reported to improve maximal oxygen consumption, and preliminary evidence suggests that it improves upper and lower body strength, lower body power, and recovery. It's unclear whether these effects persist in well-trained athletes. Ashwagandha may also improve sperm quality parameters in men with fertility issues. It appears to be safe, but more long-term research specifically designed to evaluate its safety is needed. Also, ashwagandha may cause mild drowsiness and sedation for some people. Now, with any brain-altering substance, there are also dangers that come along with it. Ashwagandha is possibly safe when used for up to 3 months, but the long-term safety of ashwagandha is not known. Large doses of the plant might cause upset stomach, diarrhea, and vomiting. Rarely, though, liver problems, including severe liver failure and a need for liver transplantation, might occur. But the story you are about to hear is how a person was taking ashwagandha for months and started experiencing symptoms of serotonin syndrome. There are factors that go along into why this happened to this person, but you will hear it in the story. You can make your own judgments on this plant and see if it is something you are interested in or not. This video is not meant to deter you away from ashwagandha. Same goes for any other drug I read stories for on my channel. I am just telling you that there is a possibility something like this could happen. I practice harm reduction here, and I just want everyone to be safe. I am never trying to make any drug that has beneficial qualities look bad. This is a horror trip report channel, and I will continue to read these bad experiences. Without further ado, here's the story about a person's negative experience with ashwagandha. The last month of my life has been a living nightmare. About 10 weeks ago, I started using ashwagandha. I found it to be surprisingly effective for stress relief and general anxiolysis, so I began taking it every day. I was using the recommended amount on the bottle, which was 600 milligrams of standardized 5% KSM-66. The longer I used it, the more effective it became. Some of the alkaloids are fat-soluble and take time to build up in the body. It does quite a few things in the body, but namely in my case, it raises serotonin levels. I typically do enough research before taking anything, and I knew that it would do this, but sort of brushed it off because I'm quite confident with my ability to determine if a drug is having adverse consequences in my body. A whole month went by and I experienced no side effects or any negative things, only benefits, so at this point I mentally deemed it safe or not very harmful. I also brushed off the warnings that it should be cycled and not taken for more than a few continuous weeks. I'm a drug nerd, I know what I'm doing, right? After 4 weeks of use, I started to notice myself becoming a little more stressed out than usual, minor agitation, but nothing alarming. My life isn't in a very good place right now, and this is also very normal for me, so I brush it off and also up my dose from 600 milligrams to 900 milligrams. Over the next 2 weeks, the stress and anxiety slowly got worse and worse. I started having some old schizophrenia symptoms, which I had mostly recovered from, starting to manifest again. This is also not unusual for me. Stress brings out past symptoms, so I brushed it off and did not attempt to connect the symptoms to the ashwagandha. After around 6 weeks of use, I knew something was wrong. I was feeling oddly euphoric on top of stress, anxiety, fidgeting, and a very notable increase in hallucinations. This is where it gets fucked up. All of these symptoms I could easily explain as stress causing a resurgence in hallucinations and thus causing anxiety and agitation. It's not an out of the ballpark assessment, it would make sense as one possibility. However, it was the ashwagandha. It had built up so much serotonin in my system that I was actually entering serotonin syndrome, which just happened to feel a lot like anxiety plus schizophrenia. I had never had serotonin syndrome before, so I was unfamiliar with it and made the wrong assumption. My gut reaction was to up my dose even further to 1200 milligrams. I could not see the obvious right in front of me that it was a supplement I was taking directly causing this. I had convinced myself that I was having another schizophrenia episode, but I was dead wrong. It got worse and worse over weeks 7 and 8. I then started entering a very dangerous level of serotonin syndrome. New symptoms appeared. Goosebumps, odd rushes of physical tingling, dizziness, increased heart rate, confusion, constantly sweating, more hallucinations, serious agitation, brain zaps, startling reactions to sound, etc. I was still very confused, and now I wasn't thinking properly. I was so scared I tossed all the substances I had in the trash, including the ashwagandha. It wasn't until the next day after I did not take the pills I made the correlation, but it was almost too late. At this point, I was in pretty serious serotonin syndrome, and it wasn't just casually high levels anymore. I stopped the pills and started slowly getting better, but after 72 hours I went into withdrawal from them after only taking them for 2 months. And this was nasty SSRI type withdrawal, complete crash, new symptoms, insomnia, totally fucked. I took 1 pill to level out, and this threw me into another psychosis. I woke up in the middle of the night in complete psychosis, scared shitless. These were awful side effects. The last 2 weeks have been a game of how much to take to stop withdrawals, but not too much to go back into serotonin syndrome and psychosis. Oddly enough, just 15 to 20 milligrams is enough to stop the withdrawal, which is very minuscule compared to my previous doses. It's likely an alkaloid built up in my system, and it's taking forever to get back to normal. I am just now, after a month of hell and careful tapering, starting to feel somewhat normal again. I'm still having brain zaps and various symptoms, but I think I will be okay. I wonder how much damage I've done to my brain. I am lost in a mental fog and my brain feels like it's recovering from a month-long meth binge. The awful part about all this is I would have identified the ashwagandha as the problem immediately had I not experienced schizophrenia in the past. I kept misidentifying the symptoms as that. I do still think this is a great supplement to take, but obviously in moderation. Do not take it for more than 2 weeks continuously, and definitely do not take it if you are on an SSRI or other serotonin moderating drugs. This just goes to show that even a drug nerd can make some very serious mistakes when using substances. I feel like an idiot that I let it get that bad. It could happen to anyone. Be careful and stay safe out there.